Hi, my name is Layla, and I'm the owner and founder of Top Financial Agency. Now, have you noticed that we have been in a bull market for the past 13 years or so? And what goes up must come down. Well, there's a product, a financial product that is gaining a lot of interest, and that is the indexed annuity. Now, I'm going to break down the indexed annuity into this little acronym that I think is very easy for you to learn. And it's guarantee, annual reset, indexing, lifetime income, surrender period, and access. So what does this mean? This means that if you're rolling over your money from a 401k or an IRA or a Roth IRA, you can now guarantee that you won't take any losses even when we go into a bear market. So if everything crashes, whatever money that you have in your indexed annuity will stay 100% safe and protected. And it's the only financial product out there that can actually say that it gives you a guarantee. The other thing is annual reset. So you have the option of allocating your money into different indexes, including even a fixed index. So different products have different percentages of the fixed index. Some are like 4%, some are 5%, some are even as low as 2%, but that's because they provide a bonus. And I'm going to talk a little bit about bonuses. But you can allocate your money into an index that's on a 1-year point to point. So every single year you can reallocate it to a new index. Now, indexing, what is indexing? So one of the indexes is the S&P 500. Some are Barclays, some are there's all just different types of indexes. And so what the product is doing is that it's mirroring the stock market. So if the S&P goes all the way up to, 20%, let's say, whatever that index is capped at is what it will be. So let's say it goes up to, the S&P goes up to 10%, but your product is capped at 8, then you can only get 8%. So even if the market does 10%, you can only get up to 8. But when the market loses and everything goes down, your principal and your gains are going to stay where they are. You're not going to lose any of that. Next is lifetime income. So let's say you have $100,000 in a 401k and you use that $100,000. What happens? That's it. You're done. Your 401k is done. Well, an indexed annuity doesn't work that way. So even if whatever the premium you put into it, even if that runs out, it can still pay you for the rest of your life. So that's what it's designed to do. So this is a product for retirement because you're never going to run out of your money. But the goal now is to grab or to grow enough money and get it going in there so that when you retire, you're living off of, let's say, 10% or 8% or whatever percentage you want to live off of. You're going to have that money for the rest of your life. And there's actually different calculations that you can use to figure that out. Surrender period. So let's say you buy an annuity for a 7-year, 8-year, or 10-year surrender period. That means that your money is really in there for that amount of time, which isn't weird or unusual because a 401k you typically can't touch until you're 59 and a half anyway. So it's not weird to have a product that you really should keep there for long-term growth. Generally, annuities have access, which I'm going to cover next, actually, with, let's say 10% you can access every single year. Some products are cumulative. Allianz has a product where, let's say, the first year you don't pull any money out. The second year you can get 20% out. So surrender period means that, let's say it's a 10-year surrender. Let's say you put your $100,000 in there. So let's say year 2, you decide, I don't want my annuity anymore. I want to take all my money out. Well, you're not going to be able to take all of that $100,000 out. Maybe there's a 10% surrender in year 1. Then year 2, it goes down to 9%, 8%, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, until there's no more surrender. And then you can take all of your money out plus whatever gains that you accrued. And why do they do that? I mean, life insurance company, and this product isn't designed to put money in today and take it out next year. If you want somewhere where you can put money in, take it out, that's what a bank is for. So different financial products have different purposes. And sometimes people talk badly about, the surrender period. Well, I mean, the product has to serve whatever purpose it is that you need. If you want to put money in and the next year you're going to take a whole bunch of it out and do a kitchen remodel, then maybe don't put all of your money into an indexed annuity. But if you're planning for your future and you want money that you can live off of for the rest of your life, then maybe this might be an option. If you also want guarantees that you're not going to lose any money, any of your gains or your principal, an annuity might be an option for you. And then access, which I mentioned, typically you might have access to about 10% every single year. Some products, it's 10% of what you have in there. So you start off with 100,000, you take 10%. The following year, you take 10 more percent. You're taking 10% off of what is left in there. But then, of course, if it's compounding and it's growing because the market is doing well, there's always going to be some type of a growth, right? Generally, we hope, unless, we're going to probably be entering a bear market soon. Other products, you have 10% based on the premium. So if you put in $100,000, then you're always going to be able to take out 10% of $100,000. It just depends on the product. So now when it comes to annuities, there's two types. There's an accumulation annuity and an income annuity. An accumulation annuity, the purpose is to grow your product. F&G has a high-performing annuity. NLG also has a high-performing annuity. And really what they're looking at is the cap. So, for example, NLG Zenith Growth 10 has a cap of about 12%. So, and that's what it is right now. So let's say the market does 13%, it'll cap you at 12%. So there's a potential for higher growth. Now there's the income product, and the income product is designed to generate income for the rest of your life. Some have a fee for the writer and others don't. So again, it really depends on the product. Oh, by the way, fees, I don't get charged money under management. So I get paid by the insurance company. So your money is protected. If you put $100,000 in, that's what's going to be in your account. I don't get my commission from that $100,000. I get paid differently, okay? So when it comes to income, you could, let's say, so now this would be a product, let's say you're already 65, you're already ready to retire, you're going to put your money in, you're going to protect it, and then you're going to start immediately drawing out income. Or 73 years old, there's RMDs, we have to draw out income, right? So it really depends on what age you are, which product will be suited for you. Now, there's also products that give you bonuses. There's some that give you bonus immediately on income, and there's some that immediately in your account value, and there's some that will give you a bonus on income. So, for example, Allianz 222, right now, you can get a 40% bonus on income. The catch is you can't use it for the next 10 years. So who is this product for? Let's say somebody's 55. So 55 years old, they put their money in there, and then when they're 65, they have access to it. Plus, they're going to get that 40% bonus on income when they pull it out. There's another product, let's say the NLG growth driver. There's NLG growth driver 7 and growth driver 10. The 10 will give you a 10% immediate bonus on your account value. So when you run the illustration, let's say you put $100,000 in, you'll immediately see that $10,000 in your account value. So why would you get an income product like, let's say, that 10% bonus versus a Zenith or versus like an F&G, power accumulator where it's just designed to grow? Well, we can't tell the future, but one thing that we can see is that the market has been climbing up for over the last decade. Do we think that the market is going to continue to go up for the next 10 years? Probably no. I don't know if you've looked at the lost years. I'll do a video on that later. There's a decade of time when money didn't really grow. If you had your money in the stock market, there wasn't really much growth. You kind of leveled out for the last 10 years. People think that that's what's going to happen for the next 10 years. So what you're sort of thinking is, do I think that the market is going to do well for the next 10 years? If so, then let me, risk and get a product that has a potential to get a lot of growth. No loss, remember, an index product, no loss. But let's say I want something that's designed to give me a lot of growth. Or you might say, you know what, I don't think that the stock market is going to do well for the next 10 years, so I'm just going to take that 10% up front. right? And the growth one that gives you the 10% up front, the cap is at 8% right now that I'm doing this video. That's where the cap is. So if the market does 9%, you don't get that, you get 8. If the market does 7, you get 7, but you're capped at 8. I mean, 8 is not bad to get capped at, depending on what the market does, especially considering the next 10 years that we're coming on. So how do you roll your money over into an annuity? Well, if you have an IRA, you have a Roth IRA, maybe you have a 401k, 403b, 457, or maybe you just have cash on hand and you want to put it into an annuity, then you just roll it over. And unlike life insurance, they qualify you based on how much liquid assets you have. So they generally want to know that the amount of money that you're taking sometimes depends on the carrier, is up to 50% or maybe up to a third of what you have left over. So they want to know that you'll have enough money there in case of emergency. So if you have any questions or if you want to look and see how an annuity might fit for you, whether it's an accumulation annuity or an income annuity, or maybe you want to look at some bonuses, please reach out to me. You can head over to my website at topfinancialagency.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day.